DisabilitiesDifference, a series dedicated to improving awareness around different disabilities.
In today's episode, we'll be looking at two common disabilities, covering autism,
as well as looking into cerebral palsy later on.
So starting with autism then, or popularly referred to as ASD, or autism spectrum disorder. Autism is a common type of neurodivergence, which means their brains take in information differently.
Autism is a wide spectrum which affects a large range of people, affecting 3 times more as many males than females.
Around 1 in 100 children are diagnosed with ASD, with most common cases of autism dedicated in early childhood.
With 700,000 autistic people in the UK, with £3.2 billion being spent to support people with autism.
With over 70% of autistic adults saying school would have been much easier if people understood autism, which highlights how much of a problem awareness on autism is.
To help get some more detailed information, let's talk to a professional who works with people with autism in their daily life. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us. Would you be able to help us look into how people with autism take in different situations?
Yeah, sure.
What's the biggest problem in society, people with autism, which affects their everyday life?
Wow, that's quite a difficult question to answer in a sentence. The biggest problem, I think possibly that a lot of society is more adapted to neurotypical people and doesn't take into account some of the difficulties that people with different needs have. So it's probably more society than the people's needs.
Could you tell us a bit more about what you do to help people with autism?
Well, I work one-to-one with students in mental sessions and around the college, so I would help students to problem solve, to look at different strategies to manage anxiety, different ways to structure their day. It completely depends because it's completely different for everyone. It depends.
If someone thinks they have autism or someone around them may have autism and might need support, what would you suggest for them to do?
I think the first thing is go to your GP.
And thank you for your time.
That's all right.
Well, that was intriguing insight from someone who works to help all people with autism.
Now we want to take the opportunity to talk to someone who is affected by autism on how they see things and perhaps do certain things differently. Thank you for letting us talk to you. Would you be able to tell us how being in social situations makes you feel?
Depending on the situation, sometimes it's alright, sometimes it can be anxious.
Would you say that things like school were difficult for you, or that the correct support wasn't there for you, making things more difficult?
Yeah, because people back then didn't really have an understanding. You would be the weird child that just found situation difficult that no one else found difficult and never really understood.
What would you change about the current system in place to help people like yourself?
More help in schools with autism, more training for the teachers and support team around the students.
Alright, that's it. Thank you for talking to us. Well, that helped us to get into their shoes and see how they see different situations.
Now we are going to look at our second disability.
Now we're going to look at cerebral palsy, which is a common physical disability which affects lots of people around the world.
Around 1 in 350 people under the age of 10 are affected in some way by cerebral palsy, with a wide range of different effects.
Cerebral palsy can't be developed in adulthood and can only be caused by a few things: bleeding in a baby's brain, reduced blood or oxygen, or an infection caught during pregnancy.
It affects development as well as weak limbs, as well as seeming stiff or floppy, as well as many other things which affect their everyday life.
Around 60% of people with cerebral palsy can walk independently, with some having to use walking frames, and a third with people with low, limited or no walking ability.
The UK spends around £4 billion on supporting people with cerebral palsy each year.
To help us understand things further, we're going to talk to someone who helps people with cerebral palsy every day. Thank you for joining us today. Could you tell us what you do in your job?
Yeah, no problem. It's delightful to be here today. I do a lot of things in my job. I'm the principal of the college. Being the principal of the college means that I have oversight of all of the education that goes on here at the college, whether it's in the day college or whether it's in the residential.
And does that support students with cerebral palsy?
Yes, it does, because all of those roles are geared towards ensuring that our mission, which is to ensure that the young people of this region have got what they need to progress in their education, is fulfilled.
And what challenges do you face students with cerebral palsy?
The challenges that we face from our students very much depend on the individual and how their special educational need or disability affects them. So when we interview students and when we get all of the information about them, we analyse that and we make sure that we've got the resource needed here in the college to meet their individual needs.
And how do you support people with cerebral palsy to become more independent?
Again, it goes back to the last answer that I gave, which is about ensuring that the individual needs of a student are addressed. So the education, health and care plan is where we start from when a young person comes into the college. We then devise a programme based on that education, health and care plan and on the aspirations of that young person, and we have to make sure that that programme flexes with the needs of that young person when they're here.
And that will be all. Thank you for your time. That information helped us look into cerebral palsy, finding out some more detail about different things involved.
Now we will find out what it's like to have cerebral palsy from someone who is affected by it.
Thank you for letting us come and talk to you. Is there anything about cerebral palsy that you wish more people knew about?
I bet people knew about you can get loads of different types of cerebral palsy. You got more people think you can only get one type, then you can get loads. And cerebral palsy can affect people in so many different ways. I think it's all about understanding the person and what type of therapy they've got.
Would you say that you were and are well supported in your everyday life?
Yeah, I would say so. And not everyone is, but for me personally, I was supported.
How can people be more inclusive towards people with cerebral palsy?
Again, treat them like any other person. I get a lot of people talk down to me, and I'm like, understand me here, not because I got CP. I might be in the wheelchair, doesn't mean I'm no different. No, it's about treating everyone the same, because at the end of the day, we all want to be included, and we all want to be treated the same. No, I think it's about treating everyone the same, no matter what you got.
Once again, thank you for letting us come and talk to you.
Thank you.
That helped us to fill in some of the gaps as well as get a perspective from someone with cerebral palsy.
That's all we have time for today. Thank you for joining us. Let's have a quick look at what we looked at.
We looked into some information around people with autism and how they feel in different situations.
We spoke to someone who works well with people with autism every day, as well as getting to see some things from someone who has autism and see things from their perspective.
Then we dove into some facts around cerebral palsy and investigated their effects.
Then we spoke to someone responsible for supporting people with cerebral palsy, as well as getting the opportunity to talk to someone with cerebral palsy too.
So thank you for joining us. We hope to see you again soon.
Goodbye.